Hello again and welcome back to this series of SYNLAB Podcast where we have been discussing how to live well with arthritis. My name is Patsy Mokungah and I'm still your host. With me here has been the very, very helpful and very, very qualified Dr. Charles Ifudu. He's joining us all the way from Enugu and we are grateful that he made out this time to be with us and to teach us a lot on this topic. While you're here, remember that this is SYNLAB Podcast. You can like, you can comment, you can share and subscribe both on YouTube and Spotify. Now in this episode, we're going to be focusing on, lifestyle, exercise, physical therapy, and how generally you can take control of your life even while struggling with arthritis. So, Dr. Ifudu, with you now, and I would like you to help us to know how exercise benefits arthritis patients. In our previous episodes, you had already touched a bit on, exercise, movement, but how exactly does it benefit patients with arthritis, and what are the safest options of exercise that are available to them?
Okay, for exercises, I actually mentioned walking, cycling, because it improves joint flexibility, joint mobility, and also the joint strength. And you need to see that some exercise, what we actually do is to tell the patient if they actually have pains, they can also take their pain medications before embarking on these exercises.
Oh, okay.
So, but in the long run, the exercises help. It actually helps to improve joint mobility, flexibility, and also strength of the joints. Thank you.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is this is a focus on movement exercises. There's a name that they call this type of exercises. I've forgotten right now. But like you said, walking, cycling, things like that would help improve. There seems to be a popularity coming up in walking as a form of exercise. At least I've seen that on social media. People around me are trying to count their daily steps, inclusive of myself. So simple walking apparently can help. And it's good to know that because at least walking doesn't require any equipment. You can just stand up and start walking. Okay, so, but what other lifestyle adjustments can one make in terms of, helping with this issue? Like, we've heard of things like, posture or joint protection. How do these things help you? What other life adjustments can you make to reduce the pain?
Okay, so life adjustments, there we already mentioned that I have some physical therapies, of which it also helps. There are exercises they institute that helps muscle strengthening exercises they institute. These exercises also help in joint mobility, joint flexibility, and also strengthening these joints. So another thing is that some occupational therapies also have advices in joint protection.
Okay, what kind?
There are some things like the heat therapy, the cold therapy, even relaxation techniques. Then the use of the splints or even the knee braces, which also helps joint stability and also provides support for the joints. Then also other modifications like workplace modifications. You can find out that there are some things you can do to actually reduce stress. Then people that have things on the shelf, a high shelf, you can get riches for you to reduce the stress for yourself. Then also to help people that maybe have fatigue from arthritis, you can also give yourself some break from work. Yes. Then also changing some sitting positions could also help. So those are some modifications that can be done.
Okay, so you've mentioned the knee braces, um, you said reachers, if you have very high shelves, so you can get things to help you reach that. What about like
Yes.
stepping stools or ladders? Would that also help?
Yes, it can also help. So anything that can make you not to reduce stress so that the symptoms will not get worse. This is actually advised. Yes.
Okay, and you talked about like sitting positions. What kind of sitting position will help? Like what kind of sitting position might be bad? What kind of sitting position would be good? How should a person endeavor to sit?
Okay. So actually, when you sit, make sure that you sit upright. That's it.
Am I
Always sit
sitting upright?
upright.
I think.
Yes.
I think.
Sit
Okay.
upright. So when you sit bending another, it tends to put stress on some of your um, joints. So when you sit upright, it helps with joint alignment. All the joints are well aligned, so it puts less strain on the joints.
I'm thinking about this as I'm sitting down right now. And I think this is why people are getting those ergonomic chairs. I see them in like work from home people's offices where they're getting ergonomic chairs that have things to help their back or something. But these things are expensive, Sha. But as we're learning now, those things can help you in arthritis management. And I have to ask, what is the difference between physical therapy and occupational therapy when it comes to arthritis management?
Okay, so physical, actually, the physical therapy. Oh, I don't know whether you've heard about physiotherapy.
Yes, I
So
have.
in
I hope you
physical
guys have to.
therapy, they institute some exercises physically to help manage arthritis. So, and most of the physical therapy tend to um, strengthen the muscles, because when you have arthritis, there are also some forms of muscle weakness. So muscle strengthening exercises are involved. Do you understand? So they also institute
Yes.
some exercises that also help with the joint flexibility, also joint mobility, and also strength of the joint. And even in all, you even find out that those exercises will even help to reduce pain from arthritis too. Then
Okay.
for the occupational therapies, so those are the ones that you institute during the things that can make you reduce stress or strain during occupation, during the
Your
joint
daily,
protection and
day-to-day
pain. Here, the
activities.
advices
Okay.
they give you, how you can protect yourself. I mentioned about cool therapy, I mentioned about heat therapy, also relaxation techniques too. So I also mentioned about the things that can make you reduce stress from your workplace modifications. Those are the things we talk about. Workplace modifications like the Risha I mentioned, that will make you to reduce the stress of straining your hand and all that. Then um, other things too, um, like the sitting position I mentioned, then also giving breaks from work.
Okay. You mentioned hot and cold therapy. Could you help us, like, just shed more light on that and which one is appropriate? Because they are polar opposites. So, what is hot and cold therapy and how can it be applied and when?
So the thing is that in the hot and cold therapy, it can be used like some people that have some forms of arthritis. In fact, these are the things the physiotherapists institute to manage some forms of arthritis. So those are the things that the physiotherapists institute one therapy. So it's actually, but most times we talk about the cold therapy because it has a way of reducing inflammation, because during inflammation you
Okay.
have the pain. Apart from the pain, you have the heat, the release of heat and all that. So when you institute cold therapy, it in terms of somehow dampen that hotness or that they involved during during inflammation. So the physiotherapies or during the physical therapy, those are the one of the methods that they can also institute. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We've actually gone through a lot, and so far so good. What I am hearing, I'm sure what our audience is hearing too, is that there are so many things you can do, and I like the fact that it's not even they're not just overreaching or very hard steps. There are little things that you can do in your daily life to improve, this condition. Things like walking. You mentioned walking a lot, cycling, and you can just go to the gym or get one of those machines in the house or even maybe even get a bicycle and cycle, and we've known the difference between physical therapy, which are actual exercises that help, and occupational therapy, whereby you go about just making life adjustments to ease stress and to make things easier, like getting reachers, sitting better. Am I sitting better? Again, yes. So be like me. See how I adjusted, now you adjust to things like that to make your life easy. Also, the knee braces he mentioned. And we've talked about how important physiotherapy is. We've learned about hot therapy, cold therapy, and, just how to make many modifications that can help in the management of arthritis and possibly help those suffering with this condition to take more control back about their lives. So thank you very much, Doctor. I'd like you to sit tight. In fact, during this break, while we go on this break, practice what we've learned, like stand up, walk around a bit, walk around your environment, your house, your school, stand up from your office chair and walk around. While you're walking around, though, I know you'll still be pressing phone. So it's by now, share, comment, and subscribe to SYNLAB Podcast on YouTube and Spotify. I'll see you shortly to continue talking about how to live well with arthritis.